A Land Before Time. The Past and the Future. Chapter 13. The Great Chase. It was now midnight. Littlefoot, Sierra, Ducky, Spike, Petrie, Ruby were riding in the car with James down the streets of the city. So, I got many questions to ask you, Littlefoot. First off, who is this guy? Sierra asked, confused. This is James, he helped save me, Littlefoot said happily. So what are your names? James asked, confused. I'm Sierra, I'm Ducky, and this is my brother Spike. Spike moaned, me Petrie, and I'm Ruby. Well, it's nice to meet all of you, James said politely. Suddenly, Petrie noticed something approaching behind them. It was a black car speeding behind them. Hey, there's someone behind us, Petrie said nervously. James looked at his rear-view mirror and saw Ozzy and Strut driving the black car. Oh no, it's Ozzy and Strut. They're chasing us, James said worriedly. Ozzy and Strut, Sierra said confused. The egg snatchers, Petrie said confused. What are they doing here? Ducky asked, confused. Wait, you know these two? James asked, confused. Yes, they're nasty dinosaurs that kidnaps other dinosaurs, eggs and eats them, Littlefoot explained nervously. That's terrible, James said. Then Ozzy and Strut ran right into James' car. The car swirled around frantically. Littlefoot, Sierra, Ducky, Petrie, Ruby were knocked around. Oh dear me, think I'm going to be sick, Petrie moaned in disgust. I gotta lose them, hang on, James yelled panically. James turned to the left down the freeway. They're turning left, Strut yelled frantically. Shut up, I know that, Ozzy yelled annoyed. Ozzy and Strut turned to the left. Moments later, a large row of traffic was coming. Why are heading towards those cars? Littlefoot asked nervously. Just trust me, James said. The traffic started honking their horns. Littlefoot, Sierra, Ducky, Petrie, Ruby started screaming panically. Then James pushed a button on his dashboard. Then his car's wheels stretched into the air and started going through the traffic. Ozzy and Strut's eyes widened in shock. Ozzy, do something, Strut yelled panically. Shut the hell up, let me think, Ozzy yelled angrily. Ozzy turned down an alleyway. Where are we going? They're getting away, Strut asked, confused. We were taking shortcut, Ozzy yelled annoyed. Meanwhile, James was still driving through the traffic. Eventually they made it through the traffic, and they made it out of the freeway. The car returned back to normal. Littlefoot, Sierra, Ducky, Spike, Petrie, Ruby's eyes were dizzy and they were shaking. Are you all alright? James asked worriedly. Oh yay, we're okay, Littlefoot muttered, confused. Then Ozzy and Strut drove out of the alleyway and was approaching them. Ducky spots them. Hey, how did they get in front of us? Ducky asked worriedly. Hang on, James yelled panically. James took off down the road with Ozzy and Strut close behind. I gotta figure out how to lose them, James said to himself. Then he got an idea. He pushed a button on his dashboard. Then his car started pouring oil out from its rear. Ozzy and Strut drove into the oil slip, causing them to slide everywhere. Ozzy, stop sliding, Strut yelled panically. I'm not trying to, Ozzy yelled annoyed. Alright, move over, I'm driving, Strut yelled annoyed. Strut tried to take the wheel. Hey, stop it, I'm the one driving this thing, Ozzy yelled annoyed. Ozzy and Strut continued on fighting over the steering wheel when Strut pulled it off, breaking it. Oops, Strut gasped panically. You idiot, now look what you did, Ozzy yelled angrily. Then James turned right. Ozzy and Stru looked ahead and realized that they're heading towards the river. Quick, pull the brakes, Ozzy yelled panically. Strut reached down and pulled the brakes. No, don't actually pull the brakes, Ozzy yelled, annoyed. Strut pulled out the brakes. Ozzy slammed his head onto the dashboard. As they were heading towards the river, Ozzy and Strut were screaming panically. Moments later, they flew off the road and into the river. Meanwhile, James was driving down the road. Oh, we finally lost them, James said, relieved. Oh, thank goodness, Littlefoot said happily. Now then, let's head to my home and get all this sorted out, James explained.